Good morning, this is Tom at Tall Clover Farm, and I wanted to talk to you about orange peels. I love the orange, it's a great thing to eat, but then you have the orange peel and you don't have to throw it away. In fact, I think in some cases this particular orange peel recipe is better than the orange you are eating in the first place. So what you do is basically I call it orange rind grind, or orange caviar, and you basically take the peel, candy it, chop it up, mince it until it's sort of spreadable, and you put it in ice cream, baked goods, yogurt, oatmeal. I love it in steel cut oats. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's easy peasy, and it's great because you won't throw away the peel after this. You'll use it and you'll like it. No, really, you'll like it. Here we have an orange. I washed it, and so what I do is I basically take the north pole of the orange off, and then the south pole of the orange off. Boom. And then you just create about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines going longitudinally, and then you just peel them off. And this is the good stuff. And you know, people always whine about the pith being bitter. You know what? It's not. It really isn't, and it drives me crazy. Every cook on every TV show will say, "And be sure to remove the pith. It's bitter." Well, yeah, if it's a grapefruit or a lemon or a lime, sure, but on an orange, they're not. Trust me. I've tried it. I've experimented. I've eaten just the pith. It's not bad. So anyway, I wouldn't even bother wasting your time getting rid of it. So here you have it. 5 sections. And the next thing we're going to do is, and then we're going to eat this. We're going, good later. Okay. So we're going to slice these up. Let me grab a better knife. All right, I like to use a serrated knife to initially peel it, just because it doesn't slip. It fits right on through the orange and cuts it nicely. But then when I cut strips, which is what I'm doing now, I just put like 2 on each other, and then I just make strips. You can make thin strips, you can make thicker strips if you just want to, if you're going to eat the peel later as like a strip, make it a little thicker, like that. But if you're going to chop it all up to use as like a spreadable thing, you can make it thinner. Doesn't really matter. Really doesn't. It all works. Okay, then you just go through, slice this puppy up, boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, da boom. One more. I'm sure there are chefs all over the world screaming about my knife technique. Hey, I'm learning too. Anyway, there's your pile of little rinds, and then next step is to soak them in sugar water. All right, the next step is you get a saucepan. Heavier the bottom, the better. That's what she said. Anyway, so I cracked myself up. All right, so you take a cup of sugar, and a cup of water, and you put it in there. So basically just an even ratio, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water. I don't have a spoon, so we're gonna use my finger. I don't have my spoon with me. So basically, that's it. Pretty darn easy. And then you put it on the stove and you simmer it for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. Just a low simmer. Pay attention to it, stir it. Sugar tends to burn, but with this much water, it usually just bubbles. And then after 10 minutes, you shut it off. So here's the beauty of this recipe, is that anytime you have an orange, you don't have to do it all at once. Like, you're not going to peel 10 oranges and do this, because you just waste 10 oranges. So what you do is every time you have an orange, you just enjoy it, peel it, and then you chop these up again, like we did, like this, and then you toss them in the pan, and you simmer it another 10 minutes. So every time you put another orange's peel in there, just simmer it 10 minutes, and if the water evaporates down, add another cup of water and a cup of sugar, and just keep doing that, and it'll reduce into a syrup. And so every time you have an orange, peel it, slice it, pop it in here, simmer for 10 minutes, shut it off, and I mean time it, because you don't want to burn the sugar And you do it until you have enough orange peel, and then we move on to the next stage, which is a little bit of chop processing. Easy peasy. So after about, a week of eating oranges and dropping in orange rinds, this is kind of what I end up with. This really awesome, candied orange rind. And you just put it in a food processor and pulse it. Or you can even save it like this and use it like that as little, sweet little curvy rinds. They're good. I'm going to eat one. Delicious. And again, sometimes I'll add a little triple sec or a little Grand Marnier to make it, give it a little something something. It's really nice. A little more flavoring, a little more adult flavoring. Then I put it in the food processor, and then this is what you get. You get this really wonderful, creamy, sort of chunky orange peel caviar, as I like to call it. You put a spoonful in your yogurt, put a spoonful or 2 or 3 in your pancake batter, waffle batter, bread batter, steel cut oats. Anytime it calls for orange zest, I'll put this in cobblers and pies. It kind of brightens it up. Great stuff. It just becomes a sort of amazing flavoring that you can use for pretty much anything that you want to have an orange flavor in. It really is something easy to do, pretty exceptional, and something that you normally throw away. So don't throw it away. Use it this way. I think you will be very happy. All right, just one more thing. Just to recap, anytime you have an orange, cut off the north pole, cut off the south pole of the peel, longitudinally like 5 sections, peel it, slice it into thin or medium thin slices, put it in a saucepan with equal amounts of sugar and water, 1 cup to 1 cup, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, simmer it, shut it off. The next time you have an orange, do the same thing. Put it in the pan, turn it on. Once it boils or starts to bubble, shut it off. And then you just do that over the week until you sort of fill the pan with orange peels from the oranges you've eaten throughout the week. And then you get sort of actually a nice little mixture of textures. Then you just can it, and you can either put it in your refrigerator or you put it in your food processor to chop it up into little chunky little bite sizes, or even little pea or lentil size, maybe even a little smaller. And then you just can it. You can put it in jars, leave about a ½ inch of airspace in the jar, canning jar, and just water bath it for about 15 minutes, and that will seal it. If you don't want to bother with that, just put it in your freezer. It works beautifully in the freezer. All that sugar, it just keeps it sort of soft. It doesn't get too hard, and that's the way to do it. Then you also have it on hand. You want to make something when it calls for orange zest or orange flavoring, boom. That's your little answer. That little jar in the freezer or on your pantry shelf. All right, I hope this helped you somehow, and I hope you try it. I think you'll be surprised. It's a delightful little treat. All right, thank you. This is Tom from Tall Clover Farm.